this is Deej and welcome to Saturday Night Ladies. With me as always is my co-host,
Shari Fesco. Hello.
And we are the Saturday Night Ladies. And tonight's episode with Amy Poehler. This is how you do it. This is an SNL episode. And just so you know, we're actually recording this right after the show's done, just because of some scheduling things with, Shari has some, date time with her husband, so I'm not going to get in the way on that. We're doing sort of a recap / hot take of the show. So we're missing the SNN hot take for this.
Very happy to be here. And I feel like, I think I texted you that this is like a cyber slumber party. I love it.
I tried to do a video link over Discord earlier, but her view of the episode was a bit sooner than mine. So by the time someone got on, the next sketch started, I still wasn't finished the previous one. So, but that's okay. That's what we're here for now. This is awesome SNL from top to back. Everything is just great.
I could not put it better myself. Are we ready to jump in?
I think so. Just want to see if there's any general notes that you had beforehand. But if not, we shall proceed with, of course, the cold open. Oh, actually, something I forgot to mention last episode. No Domingo.
No Domingo.
But then again, we got Sabrina Carpenter upcoming.
Yeah. We will get a Domingo. Before everything is said and done.
But it wasn't tonight. Not tonight. We had, just one more general note, really good spread of all the cast getting used. Everybody had screen time tonight.
100%. Very equally distributed. There was no scene stealer tonight besides Amy, as it should be. And no egregious cameo. I didn't feel like there were any egregious cameos either. There were a few, but they didn't take over the show. They didn't replace cast members, as can happen sometimes. I thought it was a perfect balance of new and old.
It worked perfectly. The one thing I can also feel joy with, no Trump eruption.
Very much in sync with you there. Love Jaj. The impression is great. Nice to get a break, even though we still got the traditional political cold open, but with a bit of a twist.
The first cameo of the night being Tina Fey as Tracy Nome.
Christy Nome, yes.
Christy Nome. Well, if they couldn't get Kamala's name pronounced right, I'm not going to bother getting their names right. So there, me.
You can call her whatever you want, Deej.
I call her the dog killer.
Tina, love the wig. We're always talking about the wigs. The wig was great. I didn't even recognize her at first. It was just perfect. And Tina did what she does so well. Biting satire. She and Amy, they travel the world doing a show together. So, of course, they have some of the best chemistry in the entire business. I don't care, male, female, non-binary, whatever. They are one of the best duos as far as chemistry.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's also great duos like those two, Bill Hader and Fred Armisen, Piscopo and Eddie Murphy. So there's a big, long history of good duos that work together very well. Although I could also say Bill and Seth as well because of Stefan.
Yes, just perfect chemistry. And speaking of Seth, we'll get to that later.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. So yeah, a very fun cold open. Also, as Deej was saying, very nice distribution of the newbies, even in this cold open. I think Ben, Jeremy, Veronica was in here. I know Ashley was doing a great Amy Klobuchar. So this was a very nice, everybody got to play sort of way to open a fabulous evening.
And with the addition of Tina Fey and the current addition of my cat, hello Bazinga.
Hello Bazinga.
Yeah, he just appears out of nowhere. I didn't bring your treats to the computer with me. I'm sorry. You'd have to wait. Amy's and non-answer answers. That's the one thing that always gets me whenever I watch any kind of even real stuff from no one can ever answer a yes or no question. They can ask something that's very clearly asking for this or that, yes or no. But then they go on this whole diatribe. Trump and Prime Minister Carney were at the White House, in the Oval Office. He was asked about something about the trying to annex Canada or something like that, and he completely avoided the topic altogether.
Avoidance is a major tool in the arsenal.
Yes.
But before either of us gets more depressed, let's keep being happy and move on to the monologue.
Mentioning the history of the show, not sure if there's really an overarching theme of the monologue.
Just talking about the fact that it is the exact anniversary.
Yes.
October 11th, 1975. Amy had to pay homage to that. And I loved when she brought on the 5 newbies.
Oh yes, that's a nice callback to when she hosted, and very similar. They had a whole lot of new cast at that particular time. Basically, had them all come out, do the smiles, like move along, move along. Nothing for me will ever beat the new cast member or Arcade Fire.
True, but this was a nice way to give a little props to the big new class, the big freshman class.
Yes, and then there are many,
and then move them along. And go into like one great joke after another. She's just, as Deej says, this is what she does for a living, and there's a reason. She's magical. I'll say it. I don't care if it's corny. She's magical. She looked absolutely delighted to be there, don't you think?
Yeah,
she looked.
Well, I saw her cheering up during the good night. So
I think she felt like it was, she said herself, it was like coming home. Yes, the cast changes, but that electric feeling of being on live TV, that never changes. That's always going to give you talk about Bill Hader, Deej, and far more expertly than I do, but
probably far too much for anyone would like me to, but that's my thing. So,
but the thing that you say, and it's true, that he always says is, every single episode felt like his first episode. He always got nervous. He always got that anticipation. And I don't think he's the only one. There's just something about that show. And everybody says it. Everybody who's on it says it. And everybody who's in the audience even can feel it. The theme of this whole episode was nostalgia.
Yes.
This was the 90s. I felt like I was watching Amy's era. Was she the late 90s? I'm bad with time frames, but it felt like the 90s to me. It really did. Just this whole nostalgic vibe in this opening sketch, the Rudemans, very much a callback to those. DJ mentioned a more current sketch that it was similar to, which was from 2000s, the Vogelchecks, saying that this was the opposite of the Vogelchecks with the Rudemans. And as Deej often does, she nailed it right on the head. It just had that old school feeling, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. What did you think, Deej? Did you agree that it's got that 90s vibe?
So I did find the information we were looking for, that Amy Poehler started in 2001.
Okay, so I was a little off.
Yeah, so it was just after the 90s.
But very much, I felt this had a very nostalgic, I felt very 90s vibe.
As soon as I saw that they had the theme song, reminded me of still my favorite, the Needlemans, the couple that should be divorced. Still love those guys. Everyone in the family is rude. And I can just imagine if they did a crossover thing with the Vogelchecks. Which is divisive of a sketch, but the commitment from everybody. And if you hear any chirping in the background, that's my cat playing with his new bouncy toy. So
that's okay. Knock yourself out, Bazingas. So no, we're good.
I did all of a sudden get a bird. It's just that there was a toy at the Dollarama that had with squeaky noise, and I know he loves that. So he's just having a fun old time. But back to the show.
Yes, Andrew Dismukes and Ashley Padilla. We've all been begging for this coupling. Yes. We love this coupling. They are
Ashley was all over the place tonight.
She was
great because that's where she belongs.
Yep, 100%. And Veronica got in there quite a bit.
Yeah,
not as much as Sarah or Ashley.
No,
didn't see as much Chloe tonight. Interesting, but a lot of Sarah, a lot of Ashley Padilla, a lot of Veronica.
Yeah.
So all good things. I loved the sketch. Was so much fun, and I did really enjoy I say the word love too much, people. So I'm really working on finding adjectives. So bear with me if you hear me like
Well,
backtracking.
love is a good word. I mean, it's an
It
awesome
is.
word. You
But
can always try doing like amour. Amour is a sketch.
I have made a list and I will continue to add to it. But anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed and admired the performances in this sketch. Sarah Sherman always playing the wacky grandma. This is not the first time. And when she goes flying and lands on the table with the nacho dip, shades of our boy Farley, right?
Yeah, and a bit of Molly Shannon as well.
Molly Shannon as well. Yes, her fabulous,
And that was a freakishly big bowl of queso.
freakishly big. But everything in this sketch was exaggerated. So
My favorite bit at the end is when the boyfriend starts doing the I'm going to talk to them the way they're talking to me, and the brother basically knocks him over the head with a beer bottle.
breakaway glass was a big theme
It
back in the day.
was.
And you don't
Yes.
see it as much anymore because they're trying to get away from the whole, encouraging violence, blah, blah, blah. I was thrilled to see a little bit of a return. And of Mikey, you gotta have some Mikey in a sketch like this.
And it didn't linger.
It didn't.
It was just the right amount of time for that sketch.
Perfectly. I didn't feel like any of these were too long.
No. They did not wear out their welcome, that is for sure.
And speaking of not wearing out their welcome, nothing like non-alcoholic beer.
Okay, I love
It was non-alcoholic beer. Am I getting that right?
something like that. Yeah, but it's meant to be kind of ambiguous. Kind of reminiscence of almost pizza.
Perfect comparison.
But it is pizza, right? That was their intention. It's also interesting that they do this because John Mulaney is now a spokesperson for non-alcoholic beer.
I think I've seen a commercial. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
And I'm so glad that they came back to these commercial parodies.
Me too. This, again, the nostalgic commercial parodies, like you mentioned, Almost Pizza, which is a perfect comparison. And Ben Marshall at the end as the cop just nailed it. Just not on for long, but very memorable with his. Oh, okay, sir.
Now, as a Canadian, I'm very, very proud of the alcohol content of our beer. I was actually contemplating having beer while we're doing this, but let's stay sober for the podcast. That we generally do have a higher alcohol content than American beer does. And when they did the 96%, I was howling. One thing I always gauge how funny something is, because usually you're more prone to laugh when other people are in the room with you and laughing with you. If I'm by myself, but if I laugh out loud when I'm in the room by myself, then I know it's definitely funny.
And this got you laughing out loud, Deej?
Oh, yes. As soon as I saw the 96%, it's like, yep, that's, is that beer or Everclear? I don't know.
It's really timely because all these non-alcoholic beers, like you said, Deej, John Mulaney is endorsing. They're very popular here in the States. I'm assuming they're popular in Canada as well. So I really like them poking fun at being a non-drinker myself. I found this very amusing and dismukes. We already talked last week about our never-ending adoration of Mr. Andrew Dismukes.
And Ashley is the wife, which I love.
And Ashley with her little line. She just gets her little line in there with perfect intonation. So great fun and totally 100% in agreement with Deej. Glad they're bringing back commercial parodies.
I hope
they're a staple.
They have been greatly missed because we don't have to make room for Please Don't Destroy, and Dan Buell's still on tour with Sandler. So be able to go back to the wonderfulness that is the commercials is just perfection.
And speaking of another staple of SNL since the beginning, the talk show.
Oh yes.
And our next sketch is Miss Lycus, the Fast Psychic.
Lots of good audience the audience being lots of good cast participation. We had a couple again was something bad similar with one later. Was like a public presentation, but at least they weren't right next to each other like last week.
It's just a classic staple, that talk show. Amy is this psychic who's bing, bing, bing. She's getting it done. She's getting it done quick. James Austin is her sidekick, apparently an author of some sort, being sort of the straight person that Amy's bouncing her wackiness off of. You died. Yours died. Yours burned. Yours was drowned. In this terrific wig with this amazing bullet train delivery. Just not many comedians can do this just so, it was so fast. I don't know how to describe it. She was just so quick, but yet you could understand every word. So she's just expert at that. She's expert at just nailing it any way you need her to nail it, whether it's slow, fast, in the middle, she can do it, and she can bring home the joke.
And no matter how many times she got things blatantly wrong, everyone's like, thank you, thank you. Although my personal favorite was at the very, close to the very end, when Marcello pops up as a long-lost brother, and he basically pops up, covered in seaweed, and then spits water out to the side.
Perfect Marcello moment.
It was, and the timing on that was just
perfect.
Just right, bang on.
And good to see Jane, as we talked about cast members. She was totally shut out last week. Nice amount of Jane. Being her, just deadpan delivery that she does, I think, very well. And glad to see her tonight. I'm happy she's back happy to see everybody just getting a piece of the pie. Don't mean to repeat myself, but it's just a wonderful thing to see.
Lots of Jane, which definitely made up for the previous week. Lots of underlying sweetness to her.
She does. I like Jane. I'm glad that we're on the same page with Jane, because I don't like all the negative energies or the divisiveness surrounding her.
Yeah.
She's new. Give her a chance.
Yeah, this is only season 2, so.
And speaking of giving a chance, I am happy to see Cam in a lot, too. And that orange sweater, I don't know where they found it in the wardrobe department. That was some ugly shit. But it worked on him in this particular character he was playing on the screen for a minute.
I'm keeping the open mind with Cam, and I believe he did quite well. So I'm still willing to give him a chance. It hasn't really been able to show everything perfectly, just because of the way things are written, and Amy's there. But no, I think so far he seemed to be able to act very well.
I agree. And he seems to enjoy just getting his minute or two, and he's cool with that. And he's got a nice laid back vibe. I'm glad that I wasn't expecting the laid back vibe. I was expecting him to be more trying to get screen time and more in your face. And I don't get that from him at all. So I'm pleasantly surprised. Are we ready for our second pre-tape?
We are.
The Hunting Wives season 2. Now,
I have not seen the show. I've heard about it. Just from what I've gathered from the actual title, this makes me, is this something I really want to watch? I don't know.
It's not. It's really not. I mean, maybe I can't speak for you. I know it's a huge hit, and whatever. People have a right to watch whatever they like. People don't understand my TV obsessions. I don't have to understand theirs. But this was a hilarious pre-tape.
Yeah. Well, my relationship with reality TV, like, for me, was really big in the 2000s, like, with all the VH1 dating shows and things like Beauty and the Geek and all those sort of CW competition shows. So, and I even went to a reality TV convention in 2011.
You did? I think you mentioned that either on our show or maybe on We Heart Hater.
Most on Hater we can talk about here. Yeah, so just it was 2011. It was called Reality Rocks. They never had it again, but there was lots of some drag queens there. A lot of the VH1 people were there. I have a picture with Eric Roberts, because I think he was on the Dr. Drew Rehab show.
I remember the Dr. Drew Rehab show.
The modern, more reality shows is, I tried to watch Housewives, and it's just not for me.
Me either, but they are ripe for parody, just like this. Ripe for parody. And Amy and who else is in this? Sarah and Ashley and Chloe. Perfectly cast. Everybody's in these gaudy dresses. Shout out to the wardrobe department and the wig department again. We get a fabulous cameo.
Aubrey Plaza.
So thrilled to see Aubrey. Of course, she was in Parks and Recreation with Amy, so
Yes.
I wasn't putting it together like why Aubrey, and then I'm like, oh, okay. I get all excited to see her because I think she's very funny.
When she hosted SNL, Amy came on as
Leslie Knope.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't surprise me, but they're doing the barely sort of like the lesbian undertones, but at the very end, when her character comes in and says that she is in a relationship with a woman, they get all offended. But no,
And they get the guns out.
Yes.
Perfect way to end it.
Great. Very, very Republican of them.
Yes. So we got two pre-tapes tonight.
Yeah.
Not a lot, just the right amount. Again, everything was in balance tonight. That was the theme tonight.
Perfect amount.
Perfect balance.
Yes. Nostalgia, perfectly balanced. Everybody had their little moments. Some people had bigger moments, but this is, like I said, a textbook perfect SNL episode where, yes, some people were featured more than others, but it was a nice, even distribution, which is great.
Well, we're off to another live sketch. And I couldn't find all the titles online. I did look, but I'm just calling this one Office Baby.
Oh, yes.
With Amy as
the
pregnant manager who doesn't want to leave. In the States, we have a problem with workaholicism. So,
yes,
a perfect thing to poke fun at, and Amy does that.
And very much a lack of paid maternity leave.
Yep, also true. Definitely a problem. Perhaps all over.
In Canada, you get a year of maternity leave. You're paid at 3/4 of what your regular salary was through the employment insurance program, and then you can go back to work.
Oh, Canadians, you have things figured out. We give new mothers six weeks. So you're right. So a lot of things are being poked fun at here.
But the highlight for me was Ben.
Ben is the doula.
For his first long form sketch as the doula, not doula, he's going to do very well on this show.
Spraying the incense about up in Sarah's face.
Oh, yeah, the sage. Doing the sage.
The sage. I had to really look. I wasn't quite sure who it was because they have him so well made up with the beard and the long hair. Mikey's always got to take his shirt off at least 3-4 times a season. I'm not going to complain. The only thing
I was confused about was Bowen coming out as the baby. That just seems weird.
A little overkill, like too much.
I'm not sure what added to the sketch. No, I'm going to have this baby. I got my water thing over here. That the doula, not doula, had great recommendations on Facebook Marketplace.
Another thing to pick on, right? How we all go, we want to solve a problem. Go to Facebook Marketplace, go to Craigslist. Is Craigslist still around? I don't know.
Craigslist is still around.
So, let's go online and find the solution.
Well, I gotta say, I have pretty good luck with Craigslist and with Marketplace as well.
I actually have too.
That's how I got my ice maker. The only fail I had was when my dishwasher died. I got this other dishwasher and got it all installed and it didn't work. And then the guy wouldn't give me the money back, so I had to search for another one, but we got one that worked eventually. That was a saga, but that's a story for another time.
I just want to mention Keenan's brief little appearances.
Right.
UPS. He did that a lot tonight. Just came in to add a little spice and then left.
Yeah. Just add a little Keenan reacts.
Yeah, and one of his Keenan words, because he makes up his own words, and I love them. I think they're great.
Yeah.
Fun sketch. I agree with you. The Bowen part felt a little forced. I still thought this was very enjoyable. Yeah. Made some good points. And now we're ready to move on to the first musical guest appearance of the night. Role Model. It with his big hit, Sally When the Wine Runs Out.
Yeah.
Loved the set, loves the country set.
Interesting setting, yes.
You pointed out the sparkly pants, Deej. I enjoyed the sparkly pants.
I swear I was a magpie in other life because I love sequins, shiny things. I'm just in my jammies right now, so don't dress very fancy for bed. But I I have owned a few pairs of sparkly pants in my time.
Oh, I most definitely have owned some both shiny and sparkly pants and shirts. So yet another
Yes.
reason we're friends.
Well, in the late '70s and the '80s, that's what we're all about, and neon.
Absolutely. As far as like shiny and fancy, since we're talking about that, his pants were about the fanciest thing in this performance. It was very low key.
Yeah,
I like that. I really enjoyed the fact that, like last week's both performances, I felt were a little less. I don't, flashy is the best word I could think of.
yeah,
I like when they get back to basics.
yeah,
I didn't know much about this performer. I listened to the one song and I liked it, and I liked it again tonight. And of course, the big thing all over the internet was who's going to be his Sally, because apparently he
yeah.
brings various Sallys on,
Mm-hmm.
usually famous, not always female, I guess. And
Yeah.
tonight's young lady in a little black leather miniskirt, sunglasses on. I wrote in my notes, I don't know who this is. I think I'm too old. And then I realized I was able to look it up and see it was Charlie XCX, who I actually
Yeah.
know.
Yes. I kind of thought that was her. I thought, okay, this is a Kardashian. No, no, no. She's nope. That's Charlie XCX. And then I happen to have Saturday Night Network Discord open, and someone said that's Charlie XCX. So there we go.
She was on so quickly and with the sunglasses, a fun surprise. I'm guessing that they're friends. Perhaps they're going to tour together. I don't know, but
They are the same sort of Gen Z, I guess.
I would say so.
But the same. They're of the same generation, so it does make sense.
So yeah, I thought an enjoyable first, a lot of fun. I like the low keyness of it, even though it was a very upbeat song. I encourage people, even who might not be into his music, to check out the video where he's wandering around a mall looking like he's wearing a Walkman. I got a kick out of the video. Again, I love nostalgia. I thrive on nostalgia. And I'm happy Role Model is feeding into that for us older folks so we can enjoy his newer music. My favorite part of the night, no competition. I don't know about you, Deej. Weekend update.
I think this is the one thing that did go on like a little too long tonight. Best part of her bit though was when she's talking about the cops on Long Island, and of course Joe comes back with just writing on his notes. Yeah, they're in Staten Island.
Sarah was playing Rhonda Vincenzo, who was supposed to be commenting on the mayoral race.
Even though she lives in Long Island,
she still voted for Cuomo 48 times. And Sarah is a Jewish woman like myself. And something that we both do is talk with our hands. So you can't all see me, but Deej can see me, and I am talking with my hands.
I'm Jewish. My great grandfather, who came over to Canada, and in the record I found on Ancestry, it said his religion was listed as Hebrew.
So there you go, Deej. Sarah just had it down. I loved all her hand gestures. And, you know, of course, she had to get her little Jost jab in there. There's always got to be a Jost jab.
In the coffee.
Drink my coffee, drink my coffee. She's always shoving things in.
Although say, I love Yiddish as a language. I use Yiddish words all the time.
It's a fun language.
If you want a great book about Yiddish, it's from the Complete Idiot's Guide. So it's the Complete Idiot's Guide to Yiddish by Rabbi Benjamin Bleck.
I bet we own that at the library I work at. I will check it out.
Yeah, no, he writes it with a great amount of humor and great amount of learning. So it's definitely something I'd recommend checking out. And then the next correspondents were the couple.
You don't know why they're together. Alyssa and Grant. Played to perfection by Marcello and the aforementioned Jane Wickline. These two have an amazing chemistry.
Yes.
Amazing. And it just comes through the screen. And Jane in that wig with those glasses and that absolute deadpan delivery.
And the bangs.
And the bang. That absolute deadpan delivery. I love the very ending where she talks about jackling on his lantern.
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
she's low key, but she's a freak at heart.
Oh yeah. I said in my notes, they started, I've always enjoyed it. And I feel like they're a favorite amongst the fans, the two of them in this correspondent piece. I feel like they're getting better and better as they're getting more comfortable together, especially Jane, because she's newer to live TV. So yeah, I think they've gone from like maybe a B minus to, B plus or even higher. And I can't imagine they're not going to bring them back because the fans love them. So hopefully we'll see more of Alyssa and Grant. And then there were more jokes, and the jokes were good. Jost and Shay are good joke tellers. But we all got our wish. All of us SNL fanatics got our wish tonight. A joke off.
So I was expecting Tina. I was not expecting Zeph.
People talked about it, and I was like, I don't know. Can they do it? They're all in New York, I think.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Tina, Amy, Seth, an original trio from back in the early 2000s, going against the 12-year magic of Jost and Shay. And it was just the 13-pound baby. What a perfect setup joke for a joke off. What a perfect setup joke.
And the different sounds they make for hitting the button.
Yes.
Because the button doesn't actually make a sound. They just make up their own. Kind of reminds me of Kevin Pollak had a podcast. And guess who was on this episode? Bill Hader. But they had this one segment called Who Tweeted. And their method of buzzing in with the answer was, so they get a point for saying their name and then extra point for doing a famous person impression.
That is hilarious.
It's on YouTube. It's
I'll look
easy
it up.
enough to find. Definitely a good episode to catch up on.
But yeah, I love the buzzer noises too. And come on, I love Jost and Shay,
Yes.
but the original trio kind of murdered them. They just know how to do the joke off, and they kind of showed the whippersnappers how it's done.
And you would think they're bringing Fallon, but four against two just seems a bit excessive.
These three were the perfect trio. Just perfect. Again, it's that balance we keep talking about.
Yeah.
And Seth, Amy, and Tina, even though it's three, which doesn't always work, here it works. And I love that they obliterate the very cocky Mr. Michael Che.
Yeah.
And the less cocky Colin Jost. There was a rumor, I don't know if you saw this, Deej, there was a rumor that Michael was supposedly sick. I think that he was sick and shortly before the show. So it was really like reset. And that maybe he wasn't going to appear and Amy was going to take his place. If he was sick, I couldn't tell. He hit it very well. So, excellent update. Definitely the highlight of the whole evening for me. Oh, perfect ending of update.
About as equally epic as the joke swap.
Oh, 100%. It was just great to see the old guard and the new, well, not that new a guard, but the current guard. All right. And are we ready for live sketch number 4? Attorneys at Law. Very happy to, as Deej is looking that up, very happy to see the Judge Mukes reunion. Yay for Andrew Dismukes and James Austin Johnson.
As the Klingons would say, I parback this sketch.
Yes, you and the Klingons are all right. This was a phenomenal sketch. And we've all been begging for the Judge Mukes return. And this was the ideal showcase for it. And we thought it was just going to be the one pair of lawyers. This lawyer trend was huge in the late 90s, early 2000s. Will Ferrell did a couple. And I believe so did Will Forte. So these were huge. So it's fun to see them come back. But no, we didn't stop with one, did we, Deej?
No. This is the epitome of good escalation. The whole concept behind these two guys is we have a combined experience of 50 years. So each had 25 years. So then another lawyer breaks in.
It's Amy.
Amy and Mandrag, which is great.
Yes, Amy and Mandrag, the obligatory testimonial, testifying her greatness and how much money. So on comes this couple, which is Ben and Cam. Yay for newbies! Talking about how lawyer not so understanding about gay couples, but they got us. I don't know, it was a large amount of money, so we're okay with it.
Very happy with Cam. So I'm coming around on Cam so far. Had no problems being playing part of a gay couple. The height of Ben with the height of Cam was a nice little contrast.
Yes, and then to top this layer, in comes the Drabble sisters in their walkers. Ashley, Chloe, and Veronica, who again have to put their testimonial up.
But this was a perfect way to get everybody involved. And everybody had great lines.
And then in come the clones of Bilson and Lieberman.
Which harkens back to last installment of Game Time
with the clones,
which is covered in the episode we just released this week of We Heart Hater.
Don't miss it. It's a good one. And Greg the alien would give it many ahs. I can't do his noise. Sorry. Just when we thought it was going to end with the clones. Oh no. There's more. In comes Amy again, and now her time has tripled because she's added 2 tortoises to his firm. Excuse me.
Yep, and as we learned on Question Quest last season, that tortoises live a long time.
But these were much tinier tortoises then.
Yeah.
But still, live a long time. And just when, now we think we've seen it all, right? They had to put Sarah in some sort of costume. It wouldn't be complete. So there she is as Dracula.
Oh, that's another good one.
With her 400 years of experience. Or excuse me, no, it's 409 years of experience because she has to top 400 years and 9 months because she reveals a bunch of baby Dracs. What a great visual.
Well, I wonder if that's sort of an homage. Have you seen Saving Sarah Marshall?
I have seen bits and pieces.
Sorry, not Saving Sarah Marshall. Okay? I'm getting that mixed up with Saving Silverman. Oh, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. One of the through lines of the movie is Jason Segel's character for a long time has developing a Dracula puppet musical. And they have a performance of it at the end, and there's one point where there's like three vampire babies happen to show up.
Could they be Dracula's babies? Who knows?
Oh, they were very obviously Dracula's babies.
No, but could they be Sarah's Dracula's babies? They might be doing a...
No, but it was a very similar kind of vibe. But yeah, so...
They might have found new work. And then we think it's... Again, you think it's going to end there. Like Deej said, the escalation.
Well, as the old Genshin commercials, but wait, there's more.
Because again, Sarah loves the costume. Bowen loves a costume. In this case,
well, Bowen loves to be in the disembodied head of something.
Disembodied. Yes, you're right. And this time he's in a tree. And the tree has a name that I'm not going to try to pronounce. Can you pronounce it?
I can't even remember what it was.
Okay.
So.
It was very hard to say. But there he is, the disembodied tree head. Who's got many, many more years. Who's going to be his obligatory endorsement? Zeus, played by Keenan, of course. He got me 80,000 drachma. What a perfect button.
Because as we do know from all the stories that Zeus would do anybody.
Indeed. He was the playboy of his time.
He was less than faithful.
As Deej says, this is the way you do a sketch, that escalation. And again, another commercial parody. The law firm parody, which, as I've said, is classic, just like the talk show, very intrinsic to SNL's fabric. So perfectly fit into this nostalgic evening.
If anyone was like me is watching from Canada, there's feeds from all the different cities. So I was watching, the first one that's on the list is Toronto. And the very first commercial directly after the sketch was for a employment law attorney.
They're everywhere, those law commercials, everywhere. All right, well, now we're going to get another musical interlude. I like that they used the same set. Again, very low-key, just him and the guitar. And I don't even know if he changed outfits. He might have, but it was just really, really simple, really sweet. And I have the name of the song. It's called Some Protector. Beautiful slow jam after this frenetic, high energy night. It was nice that the song breaks gave us kind of a little time to catch our breath. He has a fantastic voice. I only have positive things to say. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to enjoy the fact that when my kids come into the library, I'm a children's librarian for those of you who do not know, and the kids come in and they laugh at me because I'm like 10 years behind them, but I can like say, "Oh, I just listened to Sally When the Wine Ran Out and Some Protector by Role Model." And they're just going to roll their eyes at me, but at least I have something in my arsenal. So thank you, SNL.
And I think this is the final sketch of the night.
Nope, there's two.
Okay, I sit corrected.
My husband thought too, it went a little long tonight. It went a tiny bit long. Because
Which I'm not complaining. It's Amy.
Me either. The 10-1 was actually, you are right, Deej. The 10-1 was this sketch, but there was one more after the commercial break. So it did go just a bit, like 2 minutes long, not a lot.
Yeah.
So sketch number 5 of the evening, I called family dinner midlife crisis.
Oh yes, I love this Goth Amy. Going through a phase, and not the phase you would have expected. This was a definite highlight for the night for me.
The wigs, all of the wigs.
Well, you love the 3 wick line.
Yes. Ben Marshall.
Sorry, Jane, Ben, and Cam. Because I can't remember Cam's last name for some reason.
Patterson.
As her friend, as her pans, and they're all just the goth makeup. Of course, I immediately think of Goth Kid on Vacation. I will always think of that from now on. Where I see goth anything on SNL. But Jane looked absolutely gorgeous in that outfit.
I love the wig. Didn't Jane have like a blue wig on? I really liked the blue.
It was like blue and some purple streaks.
Yeah, I like the wig on her.
Yeah,
and I love when they all did the mosh pit. I've been in mosh pits before, so that brought back memories. And I did write down a line where she talks about she's vaping, and of course the kids are like, "You're vaping? Why are you doing this?" And she's like, "It's bubblegum mint, bitch," to her daughter.
When she gets the call from work, and immediately and because, as you know, which was in very much well established in a sketch with when Seth Rogen hosted called Girlfriend Voice, you always have a different voice when you're talking on the phone. So when she had her business voice, it was all regular as normal, and then instantly back into the emo teenager bit.
And as usual, Amy, she just knocks it out of the park with this angsty, disgruntled, sick of the man kind of thing that she's reverted to as she's going through her change. And I love when the daughter whips out the book to deal with it, like sometimes parents do.
Well, the menopause is a bitch. And it is very emotional.
It is.
There's a lot involved because you're warm all the time. I've been through it, and so maybe lots of some, not as much anymore, but I still have a bit of the menopause brain. But it does a lot to you emotionally because you can be fine one moment and angry the next, and then crying, and then being sorry. So having a goth phase during menopause just makes sense.
It makes complete sense. And standing ovation to all of these sketches tonight.
Yes.
Making points without getting heavy-handed, which sometimes can happen. So, yeah. It would have been a great sketch to end the night with, but there was one more. I'm pretty sure my title is close because their titles are very simple, so it's usually not too hard to guess them.
And it's also making sure they don't give away the joke in the title.
Okay. Thank you, Deej. I couldn't remember why they're so like meh vanilla, and that's why they don't want to give away the joke. That makes total sense.
Yeah, because like the Bill Hader with the effeminate firefighter, that was called the Firehouse Incident.
So you don't give away the joke, right?
Yeah,
makes total sense.
The first first grade sketch was actually called Sports Show. And this was a definite lesson learned from Chorus Line. Because there's the big song in there, Dance 10 Looks 3, which is something I've actually sung before. And there's a YouTube video of me out there singing it in a sparkly dress.
Ooh, I'm looking that up.
I'll try to find the link when I get home from work tomorrow and send it to you.
Oh, cool.
Main joke of it, she basically got a boobs on a butt job so she could get parts. Because when she looked at when she got a peek at her dance card, she was read Dance 10 Looks 3. The original title in some of the tryouts, it was called Tits and Ass, and no one was reacting to it. That's because they had the joke right in the title. So that's why it became Dance 10 Looks 3. So when you get to the reveal of tits and ass, got myself a fancy pair, tighten up the derriere, didn't know that all the goes with it. You wanted more singing, so I gave it.
I love some Deej singing, and I love a chorus line. So thank you. And it's a perfect example. Apparently, chorus line maybe gave SNL the clue that they needed to keep it vanilla, because I know I've heard big discussions about why they're so simple. So I called this one Juilliard Interview, and I'm sure I'm probably not far from this is Amy and Bowen, who are peanut butter and jelly, I feel like. I don't know that they've worked together before or not, but here they are as two music director composers being interviewed by Judge, who's really getting a chance to spread his wings this episode and do some other things. No Trump at all. And not a lot of political.
A completely Trump-free episode, which is great.
Yeah, I really like that Judge got a chance to do something besides political impressions. So this was refreshing to see him once again getting to be the interviewer and getting to be kind of a little lower key and having a great time with Amy and Bowen's over the top, wacky musicians who are poking fun. And Deej and I talked, I think last episode, about how we're both missing TV show theme songs. And that was at the core of this. The sketch was TV show theme songs have kind of disappeared. Don't you agree?
Back in our day, there are so many classic theme songs. And especially with the 30s, through the 30s, even up, well, not so much up to a little bit more in the 80s, some in the 80s as well. But most of the TV theme songs were explaining what the plot of the show was. Like, yeah, or here's the story of a man named Brady.
Like The Nanny, which was probably one of the last ones.
Oh my God, there's a clip of Elizabeth Giles. She was on Victorious with her singing The Nanny, and it is such a classic song. She was working in a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens, when the boyfriend dropped her out. Love those Flushing scenes. What was she to do? Where was she to go? Out on her fanny. Then over the hill to Flushing, to the Sheffield store. She was there to sell makeup, but far more. She had style, she had flair, she was there. That's how it became The Nanny. And the harmonies on that are just, it's like the perfect theme song.
Yeah, so it was great to hear them talking about the importance of theme songs. And it was great to see Amy rapping. I will take rapping Amy any day of the week. And I don't mind rapping Bowen either.
Yep. And the
very
comment
funny.
But a lot of these sound like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
And Jane got to be the scapegoat, which she's been before. I love it when everyone picks on Jane.
Yeah, except I want to hit her with my belt. It reminded me of a sketch when Vince Vaughn hosted. They had a sketch prom, and the man on the grease guy on the hill was basically paying for the prom. And he was there interacting and dancing with people, and he kept asking questions. And at one point, he slaps Bill Hader's character is asking him questions, and when he doesn't like one of them, instead of slapping Bill, he slaps A.D. Bryant's character.
This is very reminiscent of that. It wasn't really a 10-1. It was like a 3 minutes to 1, or even a couple minutes after 1. But I thought this was hilarious to end the night with, and then all of them dancing around and singing because they've all come around by the end, as they often do in these sketches. And now they're all singing the Severance rap. I don't know Severance or The Pit. I've heard they're both great. They're too serious for me.
No, I've seen The Pit. Watch The Pit.
Watch The
Trust
Pit.
me, it is so
Okay.
good.
That's what everybody's saying.
I tried to get into Succession, didn't quite do much for me. Of course, I was still watching that time of HBO Free was all about Barry. And
I've heard great things about Severance, but
yeah.
That's
why. That's one reason I don't. Well, I was thinking of a different show because this is on Apple TV.
I get Succession and Severance confused too. So
yeah. So, good. I'm not the only one that does that.
You are not the only one. Okay, Deej. So how are we going to rate the episode? We did Coneheads last week. What are we going to do this week?
You get to choose.
Oh, I'm trying to think of an Amy Poehler character. How about Caitlin? Since everybody was talking about Caitlin and Rick.
Yes.
How many Caitlins would you give this fabulous? We both agree it was a fabulous episode.
11 out of 10 Caitlins.
I would give it 11 out of 10 Caitlins too.
This was the perfect SNL episode. Evenly dispersed sketches. The things that were kind of similar settings with the talk show and the discussion group, not right next to each other. So a good mix of sketches. They had lots of things where everyone could have a bit of fun. Get more of the other featured players doing more things because they have to use more Ben. They use more Cam.
Yes.
They use more
everybody. Everybody got a chance. I don't think there were any shutouts tonight. I guess we'll find out.
No, there was not. Yeah, Jeremy Colhane is turning into a really good cast member. He is going to go far.
And he was all over this episode as well.
And there are people who have been doing the comparison with him and Bobby Moynihan. And from a comedic sensibility, I can see it.
I can see it too. I think I like comparing cast members too, but everybody's unique as well, which we all agree. But I do see that Bobby essence to his comedy. And he's very much able to sort of slip in like Bobby was and just really inhabit his characters. Even just the little bit he's been doing. I think he's the one who did is he the Dropout sketch comedy guy? So he's done sketch work. I wouldn't know Dropout if it hit me in the face, but I do like sketch comedy a lot, so I would probably enjoy it. And he obviously cut his teeth on that. So it was pretty easy for him to transition here. I was happy to see a lot of Veronica too, especially teamed up with the girls. Like, I think she was one of the Drabble sisters in the law. So very nice to see her.
We had some good input from Tommy Brennan as well.
Yes, and Tommy Brennan, that hair. When he played the manager in the baby boardroom sketch, the baby office sketch, I thought, that hair, what product is Homeboy using? Because I want some. He's got beautiful hair.
Well, we know the hair department of SNL is so good that John Mulaney went there when he wasn't even on the show to get a haircut before his intervention.
Who could blame him? That hair department is on point.
Yeah. Everyone behind the scenes always kills it. So
absolutely, and no exception tonight. They did a great job with the set design, everything. So this was a fantastic night. I'm so glad we were able to watch it together, Deej.
Yes.
It was so much fun. And I'm so happy that you were willing to do this late night episode, this hot takes episode.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. This episode was like a warm, fuzzy blanket. That's what I wrote in my notes. It was comforting and joyous, and it reminded me. And it was funny. That's the most important thing.
Funny, well balanced. Everything an SNL show should be. No shutouts. Yes, some people had smaller parts. Some people had bigger parts, but everybody played a part. We got to see more of Cam and Tommy basically doing stuff, and more Ben. Absolutely, I mean, we know
a lot of Ben tonight.
We know what he's done with the Please Don't Destroy, so we know he has the ability. But no, his appearance in the boss birth sketch was definitely a good highlight for him.
Oh yeah, he was a great doula, and he pulls off the beard and the hair. So there you go.
Yes, and they made the color very close to his own hair because his hair is very, very bright red.
And I have a big thing for redheads, so not complaining about that.
Yeah, although I'm looking at the end of the video here, it's like I have a lot of gray hair right now.
But next week, we're talking about
Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter, double duty.
And I have a feeling that's where we're going to get Domingo.
Yes, I'm surprised Domingo hasn't made his appearance yet, but the kids love him. So, they'll be happy. And I'm never unhappy when Marcelo gets screen time. He's popular for a reason, and he's become one of the faces of the show for a reason. And I love that he was fine just being in sketches and little bits today. So he's not an egomaniac. He's not at all. So bravo to Marcelo, bravo to the whole cast, and bravo to you, Deej, for being the best co-host in all of the podcasting universe.
As I sort of do thank you. I do what I can. You just reminded me of something. Let me get it back in my head. Oh yes, that was the thing I mentioned. So when Punky Johnson, who is now a part of the Saturday Night Network, going to be on the shows once a month, she was mentioned that with Marcelo, that Marcelo doesn't want to always do the Spanish thing. And I agree with that. No. Oh, well, I think his couple character is probably a little bit Hispanic, but then again, yeah, but not at all. So I don't know how they're going to beat this episode.
Well, thank you, Deej. This was super fun, and I'll see you next week when we'll have a regularly scheduled Sunday night taping, not quite so late. And we'll get to break down all the Sabrina Carpenter goodness.
Awesome. Well, I didn't want your voice to be lost from the internet, and you have a guest appearance coming up.
I do indeed. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but Thomas Senna and Jeremy Dove, after I'm not afraid to ask. I sent out several emails to other SNL podcasts. So look for me on Pop Culture 5. I will be on there eventually talking about who knows what. You'll have to tune in and see. Who knows where I'll show up? Who knows where Deej will show up? Maybe we'll both show up. I'm working on it. And I'm also working on getting us on social media. Have patience with me, friends. We want to talk to you. I'm very low tech. I'm breaking out. I'm going to get us an Instagram account. I'm going to get us a Blue Sky account. It's coming soon. I promise.
But you can always reach us at walkingnoprods@gmail.com.
Yes. Email us. Tell us what you think. Give us suggestions. We want to hear from you.
Get our Spotify count up. Tell people about us. Tell people to listen. Also listen to We Heart Hater, because I do that one too. Who'd have thought I would have not one but two podcasts? I never saw this coming for me. But, when inspiration strikes and the need for a friend to get back on the air, I'm going to take care of it.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Which is the theme from Good Hang.
What a way to end with theme songs. Yes. We love our theme songs.
We do. I don't know if maybe I'll write a theme song for this. I don't know. I've never written songs before. Bazinga. Here we have Cat on keyboard. I'm going to pick you up, and you're going to squeak, and you're going to complain.
Perfect ending.
All right, so from the west coast of Canada in New Westminster, BC, I am Deej Barons.
And from the Mitten State, lovely Michigan, I am Shari Fesco.
And we have been, and will be, the Saturday Night Ladies.
Saturday Night Ladies.
Saturday Night Ladies is a presentation of Wacky Notion Productions. Hosted by Deej Barons and Shari Fesco. recording and editing by Deej Barons. Research provided by Sherry Fesco. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just email wackinoprods@gmail.com. And please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment.